Hello guys. The recent Tejas crash at Dubai Airshow has been very heavy on my mind. So I was doing a bit of digging to understand further what has really happened there. It's painful to see an aircraft that represents India's pride, determination and dedication to meet with such a tragedy. Tejas has been serving India for almost a decade now, and this is the second such incident that has happened. This truly shows us how capable and reliable the platform that has been built by India. It's really unfortunate for this incident to happen on a global stage. But today it's not just about the jet, it's about the life that has been lost. My deepest condolences to Wing Commander Namansh Syal, who was flying that aircraft. He was born in Himachal Pradesh. He did his schooling in the Sainik school. He was inducted into IAF in 2009, and so now it's 2025, so he has a huge experience of almost 19 years with MiG-21 and Sukhois and later with the Tejas. So he was an excellent fighter jet pilot. He is survived by his wife, who is also the Air Force officer, and a 6 years old daughter. His father also seems to be working in the Indian Army, so his whole family has been serving India. Our thoughts and prayers to his family and his friends and all the loved ones and that little 6 year old daughter. I hope God gives them strength from this tragedy. I was going a bit to understand what could have happened by seeing the images how low the aircraft went with that maneuver and what could have been the possible scenarios why it couldn't lift from such an altitude. I could narrow it down to three scenarios that could have happened based on my understanding from the internet. So I would like to share them with you. Um, so in this case, it was during that last maneuver. It was around 500 feet above the earth. So it was doing a negative G rollover maneuver. That's a very tricky one at that low altitude. Basically, there's three kinds of forces that acts on the airplane. You can say positive Z, that's about the positive gravitational force, and zero gravitational force, and zero Z, and negative gravitational force, negative Z. So positive Z is, if I take it for an example, like when you are driving a car and when you start the car, so the first thing what you do is go back to a seat, right? So your body weight goes with the seat. So the force that is acting on you is the positive Z. Whereas the zero Z is the kind of a balanced one where you feel looseness or weightlessness. Like assume you are on the roller coaster and you went on the top of the roller coaster. So when you sit on the top of the roller coaster, you feel lightness, you feel very loose and light, right? So that's the kind of a balanced place where between negative Z and positive Z, that's where the zero Z comes in picture. And in terms of negative Z, that's when gets things hard. Like you feel like you're coming out of your seat. Like as in takes if you take a scenario of a car, like when you're driving fast and if you get a hump, you get onto the hump, right? Then you go out of the seat a bit up in the front. So that's the kind of negative Z coming towards you. So when the plane, when the jet is going down in reverse, the pilot is staying down, right? His head portion is coming up. So his force is he's coming out of the seat. The force is acting around down. So that's a negative Z. So even a -1 Z is very and leads you to a blackout. Of course, the pilots are trained; they would be trained heavily to such incidents. But the kind of weather, the kind of conditions that the current maneuver was happening in Dubai, there could have been a different scenarios. And with the altitude of such low altitude, it would have been a very really difficult scenario if really that blackout has happened to the pilot with that negative Z because the blood flows into your head and there is very high chances that for a few split seconds the pilots can get into blackouts. So that could be one scenario where the pilot might have had a blackout and because of the low altitude he couldn't get the jet back into the control within the time because it might have required a bit of more altitude to back into the normal situation, take the control of the jet. The other scenario that could have happened here is a malfunction, like what has happened with the previous pages. I think there was an oil pump issue that has caused the incident before. So similar kind of technicalities could have happened, such because and it was very low altitude, and again the pilot might had very less chances to get back to the normal flight path. Also on the third scenario, we can't rule out it's on an international stage where everyone is representing their fighter jets or their planes. Uh, we cannot rule out the sabotage angle. So hopefully the court of inquiry will investigate in all possible angles and give us a better view of what has happened there. It was very painful to see that the pilot has not ejected himself. It seems like he wanted to stay with the aircraft, like a do or die situation. He wanted to get the jet back into his control and keep the pride of the nation, and also probably want to save people crowd around there. So he wanted to stay with the jet, and so we have to honor his bravery. It's not that easy decision to not give up. Even till the last seconds of his life, he was trying to get that jet back in his control and protect the people around, as well as the legacy of India and in Air Force pride. So we should all remember his bravery and honor him. India is proud of you, and we deeply regret that we lost you. But wherever you are, rest in peace, Wing Commander Namansh Syal. So,